All right. We are a great day, everyone. My name is Rachel Akbar. Mr. Akbar, my co-host, is here with us. And we are starting a little bit early today because we have a previous obligation at 12:30 when we normally have our lunchtime tea talk. But welcome to our mid-morning tea talk with the Akbar's Level Up Conversation, next level conversation. And so today, Mr. Akbar made the tea. That was exciting. And what did you put together for us, sir?
Ginger root, my dear.
And
That's it.
oh, perfect. Well, that's my favorite. So I'm excited. It's very good, and I just want to thank you.
You're more than welcome.
It's nice to be served, serve and be served. So today we're going to jump right into it because I do want to hit these 10 points. It's very important. We're talking about finance from the 5 F's to finance, and I'm really excited about this topic because I did post on Facebook, the 10 major reasons to save for retirement. And so even sharing that, let me read this paragraph. This is by Money Nav. Casey Reese shared this on November the 9th of 2020. She says, we all know we should be saving for retirement, but according to the EBRI's 2020 Retirement Confidence Survey, many Americans aren't prepared. In fact, 6 out of 10 people report that preparing for retirement makes them feel stressed, and only 27% say they have that they were very confident that they have enough and are comfortable with their retirement. Of course, life gets in the way of taking action, and retirement seems so far off. But whether or not you're prepared, it will be time to retire before you know it. So I have 10 reasons that I'm going to read in regards to why is it important to make retirement a priority today. And I just want to ask you, Mr. Akbar, what I just read in relationship to the have and have nots, it says 27% say that they feel stressed when it comes time to planning for it. And then, you know, um, some individuals say that they are, okay, but I wonder how much of that is true. So, in regards to the have and have nots, what is your thoughts, Mr. Akbar, about why people recoil when it comes to saving for retirement?
That's an interesting question. I think based on my own personal experience and the people that I've communicated with, I don't think people really give very much attention to it. I really don't. I think people are so overwhelmed with the daily activity of just doing whatever it is that they got their life outlined to do. They don't even want to think about it, right? Because it's going to happen. They know it's going to happen. We got to retire at some point or we're going to die before we have an opportunity to retire. But anyway, the idea about it is that it's not a table conversation what people are talking about when they retire. I mean, if they do have discussions about retirement, it's glimpses of what they would like for it to look like. But the actual planning part, sitting down, because most people that I've sit down with and outline how their money is now and how it will look if their current salary is discontinued or their current income is discontinued and they were just relying on retirement. And then you can outline specifically the time when they'll run out of money.
Yeah.
And now when people have those discussions, yeah, there's a level of stress, but it's because of inaction, of them not knowing. And most people take action and say, I got to do something about it. But a lot of people, the way it's been shaped in society, it's a hopeful idea that it's going to work itself out.
Do you think that number is a little bit higher when it says 27% says that they were very confident that they have enough for and they're comfortable for retirement? 27%, that's a very low number.
And even among that number, you're probably talking about people who really haven't examined how it look.
Right.
They're just assuming based on the company gave them a 401k or 403b or whatever pension. They don't even realize that pensions are not even what they used to be. Pensions used to last you a lifetime in retirement. They don't even know just because that word pension is attached how that's actually going to look in retirement. So, people are not understanding because they don't have the information, to really form the right ideas around. And
Right.
so, when you say you are the retirement slayer, right? And you use that phrase, right? That Harriet Tubman would have freed more slaves had they known they were slaves. So we're going into this with the same type of idea. A lot
Yes.
of people just don't know that
Right.
they are in financial servitude.
Correct. Because it says many Americans aren't prepared. In fact, 6 out of 10 report that preparing for retirement makes them feel stressed. And only 27% say that they were confident in having enough for a comfortable retirement. So I'm going to just jump right into the 10 reasons why we want to save for retirement. And the first reason is Social Security may not be enough. Many Americans still believe that Social Security benefits will cover all of their expenses in retirement. Unfortunately, that's no longer a safe assumption. The Social Security Board of Trustees recently reported that Social Security reserves will be exhausted by 2034. The reality is that you're likely to need to tap into personal savings to help fund your retirement. Social Security benefits alone won't be enough. And Ms. Agbar, I know you can attest to that. So many people are coming to me from different companies, the police department, federal, state, county workers, saying, listen, when I retired, I only get $900 a month for my retirement plan. Social Security, I'm used to making $6,000, $7,000 a month. And now I've been reduced to $950,000 a month. So people are devastated at this time, but now they're in their 60s, late 60s, when it's too late to rewind the clock and do something about it. What would you say in regards, Mr. Akbar? And we have 9 more to get to, and we have about 20 minutes left.
Well, it still comes to the same the idea. People are assuming and don't really know. Because you get a job, you're not going to challenge your job sets you up with a retirement plan and health benefit type of stuff. You're just happy. You're not going to investigate anything really. You're not going to try to dissect what they're offering you. You just accept it and move on. And after years of that type of activity, it is what it is. You have settled in and settled for the idea that your company gave you about your retirement.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's whoever they are. They just don't understand that you're going to be on a fixed income and inflation is going to continue to rise. Taxes are continuing to go up and your money is not working for you. So at some point it begins to work against you, because you're stressed over not having enough to make it through the month. You got 2 more weeks in the month and you already down to $25.
Wow. Yeah, and that comes with a lot of individuals from the military too. I hear more people talking about the military, how, I'm on a fixed income, even though I'm 100% honorable discharge, I'm still only making about $5,000 a month. And I'm pushing it and stretching it a little bit because most people report a little less. It's if you still on a job, you're making about $4,000 a month, not enough to have anything left over for a savings, not have enough for your grandchildren or to leave a legacy, which, some people don't even want to leave a legacy, and I get it. But people do want to still have enough where they're living comfortably, not as if I'm on a fixed income. So, that's something else we want to look at. I'll go to the next one. It says we're living a lot longer. So, thanks to medical advances, people are living a lot longer than ever. And it's not unrealistic to expect that your retirement could span 20 to 30 years. This means you'll need a substantial nest egg to ensure that you don't outlive your savings.
Wow.
So, come on, Mr. Akbar.
Now that's scary.
Yeah.
And back in the 50s and the 60s, once people retired, soon after they passed away.
Yes. And
within 10 years, they were likely already dead because their whole life was centered around their work activity. They retired, and it just seemed like in 10 years they were gone. But modern medicine, as you said, advance people's lifespan. That's why the companies don't want to give those pensions that they used to give, because it used to be what, 10, 15 years at most.
Yes.
And so now people living 30 years and they ain't worked for the company in over 30 years. They be like, man, we still paying this guy 98% of his salary. We don't even know who he is. They changed administrations and all of that stuff happened. It's like, who is John Rogers that we still paying? Right. And so, it's like they took it to Congress and got some results. They put the risk in the hands of the employee.
Right. And that's
in
the
form
next.
of a 401k.
Yes. That's number 3. Number 3 says your retirement savings belongs to you. The money you contribute to an employer-sponsored retirement plan, such as a 401k, is yours, even when you switch jobs. You can take your contributions with you and roll them over into a new employer 401k plan or into an IRA. But what they don't say in that statement is that, but be prepared that you are going to 40% of whatever your total account value is in taxes.
Crazy. And what's alarming to me, see, I didn't know. Right. What's alarming to me is when you inform someone in a clear, concise way and they don't act on it. It's like how deep is the indoctrination, around people's ideas and beliefs, in that when it is revealed to you, and it says in the scripture, things was revealed in the scripture, clearly cut out, outlined, and people still didn't believe. You see, so it's challenging someone's belief has always been, a difficult process. If you're trying to get somebody to come on the other side, it's always been difficult. So, you share the information and you set an example. That's about most you can do.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, number 4, saving can be easier than you think. Simply select the amount you wish to save each pay period, and your employer will automatically deduct that amount from your paycheck and deposit it into a retirement savings vehicle that you choose. Why not make your financial future a priority by paying yourself first? So again, what they don't share with you is your employer will never offer you a tax-free plan, because with a tax-free plan, the employer gets a percentage of that tax-free plan. So I'm grateful that we are licensed and we can offer individuals a tax-free plan that they can save into. They can gain their interest and it's tax-free. So it's sad that this type of education is not offered to our children early in school so they know about it. Even individuals that take finance as a major aren't offered this information. I share with my clients all the time that I took algebra, statistics, geometry, geography, and I never was taught what we share with families in 30 minutes for free on how to have a tax-free retirement, how to grow your money, how to do what the banks do and put your money where the banks put your money. And that's insurable products, where now the program is offering the interest to the client and it's offering the growth. So if you need to borrow money from yourself and you're saving back into that on a monthly basis, not only are you increasing your savings, but you're growing the interest opposed to someone else growing it and taking advantage of you in the end. So you have anything to say about that, Mr. Akbar?
Well, I think you was pretty clear, about how you explained it, and it only supports the idea that traditional information, you're coming now with a challenge to that. People paid a lot of money to go to school to get an MBA, in business administration,
Mm-hmm.
and so they got a master's degree in business administration, and now they are somehow engaging a licensed professional who come with some strange to them information because they just completed their MBA and
Right.
they just acquired a huge student loan for as a result of it. And why wouldn't they tell me that in school? Well, because this challenges the financial institution's ability to make money.
Of course.
I mean, if families really understood that you can start your own family bank
Yes.
wherever you are, with your current situation. Instead of working two jobs to pay bills, if you're gonna work two jobs, let one of those jobs be funding your future.
Exactly.
You
Yes.
see, and so now your family, now when they need something financially, emergency or just a luxury, a
Yes.
person in a home, man,
Right.
go to the family bank. So
There you go.
financial institutions are not going to allow this to
Hmm.
become public. Why? Because they will be out of business.
Watch this. Individuals now, because we are, so much so taking advantage of this information, they're looking to change the laws now to, make actually offering and saving into these plans a little bit more difficult in regards to how much you can save, and maybe even how many how much before you have to start paying taxes into these plans as well. So I highly encourage individuals to get grandfathered into these plans right now before they start messing around with the laws and the rules and changing them to benefit others that may not look like us. So I'm gonna move into number 5. There are tax advantage to be had. So it says when you participate in a 401k plan, your contributions are taken out of your pay before taxes, helping reduce your taxable income. Plus, your contributions will grow tax deferred. But see, again, your contributions to grow tax deferred. So what the government wants you to do is grow your money just as big as you can in your 401k. But then what are they going to do as soon as you retire? Bam, they're going to take half. So they don't tell you that part. So of course, they don't charge you anything to save into it. But then when you get ready to start pulling from it when it matters the most, because you're a lot older now, you really needing the money because you're not working. So that's something you're going to be depending on. And now you tell me you're going to take 40% taxes from it. So if you're giving me $1 and I'm putting in $1, because when they say my company matches me and the company takes 40% back, they actually took the dollar back that they so-called gave me. So they never really gave me the dollar. This is cold. So when we talk about the have and the have nots, we want to look at how individuals that understand the rules that they're gaining interest, and the individuals that don't understand the rules, and I'm talking about of money, then they're paying interest. So we're trying to educate in a short amount of time just to share information. What do you have any comments about that, Mr. Akbar? If not, I'll move right into number 6.
Yeah, that was clear. That was pretty clear about the tax advantages that employees have,
Hmm.
the employer has,
Yeah, because the employee doesn't have
and
any.
the
Right.
illusion that they give to the employee.
There you go. Yeah, and then it's too late to do anything about it. That's the kicker to me. Once you finally realize, because when they talked about how 6 out of 10 people, they don't even have anything in place. If they say they feel stressed even talking about it, well, imagine how stressed you're gonna be when you find out that you didn't plan to fail, but you failed to plan. And so as a result, this is the boat you're now in because you didn't take that time to debrief. You might need to meditate, breathe, pray, do whatever you need to do, but face this thing head on and figure out where you're at, where you want to go, and what you're going to need to get there, and then plan appropriately to do it. It only takes a day to plan for your future that can be 30 to 40 years out. So, number 6 says time works for you. Listen to this. By saving in a retirement account, you can potentially reap the benefits of compound growth, generating earnings on both the original amount you invested and in the reinvestment income. Additionally, you'll potentially benefit from dollar cost averaging, which over time can lower the overall cost per share of your investment. But this is only if you're in the right vehicle. Mr. Akbar.
Exactly. And so being in an index strategy where you never lose your money, without saying it's the right vehicle. Because when people accumulate wealth, if they don't know what to do with it, they put it in a bank. They don't filter it back through a system that will continue to increase in value.
Hmm.
They put it in the bank where it decreases in value. Why? Because if you earn any interest on the money, just say if you had $500,000, the bank is giving you under 1%. But
Hmm.
if it was giving you 1%, just think about it. If you earned any interest in that, they're gonna give you 1099 and say that was earned income, and you got to pay taxes on it.
Yeah.
Now think about that. You see, so your money is never going to work for you, even when you got a large sum. Considering it's under $1 million, right? It's considered a large sum for most working people.
Yeah.
Rarely working people have saved in their account over $1 million.
Yeah. Yeah. The part too to think about is, everything is all great while you're working and all great while everything is working. But what about when it's not? And then if you're not planning for retirement, just not even planning for retirement, but what about an illness? What about if you get injured? What about if you get sick and you need care and you can't work? What if you run out of FMLA? What if you run out of PTO? What if you don't even have any of that to begin with? Where are you going to plan? Where's your income protection? How are you going to pay your expenses and your bills? So number 7 says you can afford it. Saving a few extra dollars a week can translate into a lot more during retirement. Try rearranging a few items in your monthly budget to save a little each week.
Sure.
It'll be money well saved instead of spent. Okay, but again, if you're not putting it in a vehicle where you're earning interest on it, and an emergency should arise, or a medical emergency arise, that's the quickest way people lose wealth is through those two things.
Yeah.
Emergencies and medical emergencies. Would you agree? Mm-hmm.
And that's a great point too, Rachel, because it's people just don't want to see themselves in one of those predicaments.
Mm-hmm.
So they avoid thinking about it as if that will magically avoid the situation from ever occurring.
Yes.
But, you got people who are driving reckless on the highways, that's putting other people's lives in jeopardy. You just got situations that occur that you have absolutely no control over, but you engaged in life activities.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you getting caught up in some situations like that, minding your own business, going to take care of your family responsibility, and someone is irresponsible collide with you in whatever level.
Yeah.
Whether it's a bandit, want to take your purse, or a drunk driver, they crash, whatever. I don't know. Unpredictable but predictable situations because of life circumstances.
Right.
And it just only makes sense for you to secure yourself and family, knowing that those things are prevalent in the society.
Right. So number 8 says you may not be able to save later. No one knows what the future holds, just what you're talking about right now. We hope that we can count on our career and continue good health, but life can throw us unexpected curveballs, such as being laid off or even worse, diagnosed with a debilitating disease. It's wise to be productive and proactive and start building your retirement nest egg while you can. And I think you just covered that, yeah?
Well, yeah, some while you can.
Mm-hmm.
While you
While
can.
you can.
Right. So how do you persuade people to prioritize something that's important? Because it's kind of ironic, because people work 2 jobs to secure their family, but they don't have their family secured, and if something interferes with their ability to do that, I mean, it's like, want to make you hold your head on both sides so your brain don't pop.
I'm holding mine too, brother.
You know what I'm saying? Right. No, it's like, you're working 2 jobs to secure your family, but you're not securing your family in case something happened to you.
Right. And I love the way you said it.
And so this is the message that I want to proclaim on top of a hill, where everybody can hear. So if you want to secure your family, let's do it with the best possible strategy. Does that make sense, Rachel?
It really does. And what I want to say to people that's working 2 jobs, they say money's not everything. Then I turn right back around and ask them the question, well, if money's not everything, why are you working 2 jobs? Working maybe 16 hours a day, spending less time with your family, spending less time doing what you enjoy doing. What's the point in you doing that? I want to hear the answer. I love for people to put comments. What is the answer? If money is not everything and you're working 2 jobs, what's the point? Wow.
Well, so I think being conditioned to the way society is structured,
Mm-hmm.
we do that because we are now going to take our family once a year to a special place. Maybe the Rockies, maybe Disneyland, maybe Marine World. So we work hard all year long, so we can have a week or two to take our family to a place that we consider ideal. You know, something of that sort. That's how it's structured. You go on vacation once a year. You know, don't try to take a vacation twice a year.
Don't try. You
You,
better not.
you're gonna have conflict with your employer.
Oh,
Didn't
most
you just go on vacation?
definitely. Yeah.
And so they set
But
up for you to do that once a year.
But mind you, the managers go on vacation 2, 3 times a year.
Yeah, well, they exempt.
Whatever. All right. Number 9. You won't want to burden your family. This is huge. Preparing for retirement now can go a long way towards remaining independent in the future. One of the greatest gifts you can give your family is relieving them of a burden of having to care for you in old age. What's more beneficial Once more, being financially prepared may allow you to retire worry free and focus on the things you enjoy doing the most. I mean, that's huge. Again, people don't plan to fail, they just fail to plan. So now you're, purchasing this big home, you have businesses, you have luxury items, you have things that you may still owe money on. How are you preparing to take care of these things as well as as I did a video once before on TikTok talking about how people don't cover what's most important. What's most important is your life, your health, and your money. People will cover things, cars, houses, cell phones, jewelry. But the things that, all those things can be replaced. But the things that can't be replaced, that people have less coverage or little coverage or no coverage, is their health, their life, and their money. So when you just said too, how people are working to secure their family, yet their family is not secure. Again, I say, what's the point? And, if you want to expound on that, Mr. Akbar, that's fine. We have one more and then we'll be wrapping it up. We have about 3 minutes left.
Yeah, well, respect to time, it's pretty difficult. That's why education, I'm not convincing anyone, because what Les Brown said, a man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still.
Still.
So it's like sharing information, and planting a seed, and the hope is now that it will be germinated through the right environment, the right soil. You put the right seed in, the truth as it is, and with the expectations that it will grow and blossom the way it should. Sometimes it don't. Sometimes there's a brick in the way.
Mm-hmm.
And the plant got to go through a different area to make the surface. But we just keep on doing what we're doing. You know why? Because the truth is the light. And that's it. Shine it bright, my sister.
Yeah, and that brings me to number 10. You'll likely regret if you don't. If you don't plan for your future, it says you should be saving for retirement. It's just a matter of overcoming the minor obstacles in your way. Let your budget be the motivator that propels you to take action and start saving. You don't want to find yourself at age 60 with little in savings, wondering when and if you'll actually be able to retire. Remember, saving for your retirement is your responsibility. If you don't and you haven't begun to save, start now. And if you're already saving, see if you can find ways to save more. No matter how committed you have been in the past, you can start building a more financially secured future in retirement today. So it's really important to pay attention to, a lot of times people, you hear so many things that can be contradictory in a sense when you say, stay in the present moment. don't start future tripping. But if you think about retirement, this is definitely something you want to start planning for in the present moment, because the future is bound to come. Whether you make it 30, 40 years past retirement, that's not the question. The question is, be prepared. Are you prepared? Because even if you're, may only live 10, 15 years and you've set aside enough for 20 to 30 years, man, that means that you really took advantage of responsibility and of your life and your situation, and you didn't plan to be a burden on someone else, so to speak. So, yeah, this topic is huge and it's so necessary and important for people to, really pay attention when you say things, about, I'm living this lifestyle, and this is the type of lifestyle I'm living. Okay, well, what happens when you get ready to retire? Like right now, we're dealing with maybe 3 or 4 different people who lived a certain lifestyle, but now that they've passed away, COVID related, now their family's talking about GoFundMe. Family embarrassed to do a GoFundMe because of how the person lived. They lived out loud. They lived like they were the richest person in the world, but now come to find out, nothing was in place. Kids that's left behind, grandchildren left behind, and this is the conversation that's going to be had by, from generations to generations, on how now all of a sudden we had to find ways to bury this person, opposed to the legacy they could have left, or how this person took care of their responsibilities, took care of their business, built this empire, and left you a legacy. That's the type of conversation I want to be had at the dinner table about me. I don't want to be that other person with that burden of some conversation. Anyway, Mr. Akbar, do you have any closing remarks?
Pay attention, ladies and gentlemen, because we shall all retire. We can design our retirement, or it'll come to us by default.
Yep. Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Akbar. Great topic, great conversation. And thank you for the tea. I drank all mine. It was delicious.
Level up.
Have a wonderful day. We'll see you next week. Faith, finance. Next week is fitness, right?
Fitness it is.
Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about getting some of that belly fat down.
Oh my goodness. I've been taking care of it.
No,
I'm leaving. Hey, on that note, I'm leaving the studio.
Okay. I'll see you. Have a wonderful day. Thank you again.